All right. Hello and welcome back, everybody. I know it's like several days in a row. Let me fix these ears. Um, yeah, we're going to be back with Kerbal Space Program. I've been feeling spacey lately, so that's what I'm going with. um, as you can see, background's changed a little bit. We've been doing some work. We've been getting some work done, which is always nice. Um, yeah, been able to clean out some of the room. Got some of my Legos set up again. Still got more to clean up here, and actually got to hang up my pictures instead of just the flags that I've got hanging up right now. But you know, we're off to a good start. So here we go, back to Kerbal. We're gonna go back to our latest career. We are not in first career. We are in default. Why it's default? I don't know. Guess I just never changed it, which is fine, I suppose. Okay, let's get reacquainted with where we're at here. We have 6 active missions. We need to build a surface outpost. It has to support at least 5 Kerbals. That's a lot, actually. Polar orbit of the Mun. 2 Taurus, which I believe are coming back. Satellite and satellite. Goodbye. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we've got minimus orbit maneuver. Yeah, that's in 3 days. Wow, okay. Interesting. We can probably reuse that one, but we have the new one. Up there. Yeah. Which... I think it's going the wrong way. Let me see. Which way is this going? I think I flew it the wrong direction. Yeah, that's retrograde. So why are you... It's because I missed it, didn't I? Okay, so we have a pilot, a scientist, and 2 Taurus. I thought we had more than that. But does this have... It does. Okay, this has an octo on it, so it is able to do at least some maneuvers by itself, which is good. I would like it to be able to do that. We'll just, while I'm thinking about it, we'll get all of our science loaded into the processing lab here. Let's see. Oh. Got experience. Start the experiments. Yeah, we're getting one science per day. Guess we can do a crew report. And we'll also put that in the lab. We'll have him go out on EVA. And we will also put that back in. Okay. And we do want to clean the experiments so they reset. Should do both of those. Takes a minute, I guess. Yep, there we go. Okay. So yeah, we're processing a crap ton of data. That has everything it needs. We're gonna give a maneuver here and set an alarm so that we know this is when we want tourists go home. We want to be able to send them back as efficiently as possible. Okay. So we've got that. Let's go back to our tracking station. We'll figure out what else we got going on. Woo! Floating all around. Our other one is a sat maneuver, which is going to be this guy. Yeah. So we want to make sure we don't lose track of you. And then we don't have... It's weird. Okay. We don't have anything else going on like around the Mun or Minmus or in transit. So we'll see what we've got. We want a polar orbit around the Mun. We want power, a Science Junior, and some solar panels and whatever else. So let's keep an eye on that one. And then we're going to want another one that's an accelerometer and Kerbin. And another one that has a thermometer and a Science Junior. So let's see if we can get both of these done in one launch and do kind of two. Yeah, must be new. Must be new. Okay. Let's see if we can get two satellites off in the same launch. That would be pretty nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our satellites. Oops, let's not do that. We want a payload. Let's see if we can do it in these smaller form factor service bays. It is just the Mun, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We want some command and control. That does fit technically, but I don't think that fits very well. Yeah, the Probodobodine Octo takes up pretty much all of that. And this battery pack pretty much takes care of the rest. Yeah, that's pretty thick. Maybe we just stack one of those in there and think that's pretty good. Doesn't stick out of the bottom. And that really should be enough. We'll give you 2 of these boys. And then you want a science junior. Whoops. So this one needs just a science junior. And this one wants a science junior and an accelerometer. Do I have an accelerometer? I do. What is this? Can't remember how these deploy. Does it not? Okay. So we'll just... Oh, come on. Slap you in there. Yep. And then we want a nice big communications array. It's probably good. And then we want a little fuel tank. And a little engine. So how much delta V do you have in a vacuum? You have 1,000. So this is my payload. We will call this simple sat. We're gonna save that. Then we're gonna go with a new guy. And we want... We're gonna start with a probidobidine octo. Possibly a payload. We want this thing to be able to return to Earth. Or carbon. Whatever. You know what I mean. So we want this thing to be able to go from Kerbin to the Mun, back to Kerbin. But it just needs to do a flyby. So I think... I don't think we need to circularize. Yeah, we can just do 3,400 plus 860 minus 300 off that number. So 4260. I think. And then another 860 to come back, basically. So 5,000? 5,000 delta V with the capacity to carry both of those satellites. Should do it. And that leaves 1,000 delta V for each of those, which should be enough. Yeah. I think we're on a good setting here. So then what I want to do, this probably ought to be the top. Okay, let's start in a different configuration here. just so it's not being awkward. Let's make sure we have plenty of battery. That should be enough. That should be sufficient for the solar panels. Let's see. Want something like that. And then we're gonna need docking port juniors. Can I do that? I should be able to. I thought I could. Yeah, okay. So let's save this as sat launch bus. And I want to do simple sat. Great. Yep. And then we're gonna do our sat bus. I remember how I was doing this. I'm getting back in the swing of things. Okay. So I actually... Actually, can I do this? Hold on. I can do this, right? We go and just say... simple mode. Yeah. There we go. Come on. Let's go back to our sat. Simple sat. And we want to give it a little decoupler. Yep. And then on top of the decoupler, the question is, let's test this. I want to make sure that the decoupler actually launches the clamp docking port off. It should, but it's been a while since I've done something like this, so I want to make sure it actually operates how I expect. It looks like it may have. Let's revert that to launch. No. Vehicle assembly. Let's take this down to just a tiny amount. And actually what we should do is have it raised up like this and do a structural little guide there. Just holding it up so I can see whether or not this decoupler works the way I intend. Okay, so here's our thing. We should be able to say, yeah, undock. Okay. That did work. I staged it incorrectly. So I want to revert that just so we get a prettier view of it staging correctly. But it worked. So we want to not disconnect that. There we go. See? Much better. Now we know that works. We can get rid of this. We can put this inside of our sub-assembly. Hey, get out of here. And call that simple sat. There we go. Go down to our sat launch bus. Bring in our simple sat. No? Do you not like that? Okay. Not sure I like that. Let's try this again. This is why I hate this crap. Okay, so we've got that. Do we want an engine plate instead? It's too big. It's too small. See, I'm hoping that works. But if I have to, I will do this. Alright, but let's see if I can change this. Yeah, that can go shorter. Let's put that in the sub-assembly. Simple sat. There we go. Get our sat launch bus. It does not like it. Still does not like it. Okay. Let's put it here. Yeah, it doesn't like that at all. It only wants to connect like right there, which is odd. See if I can get it to do it if I do it like that. Ideally, this would not be so difficult. But you know, sometimes it's how it goes. That's not. It really only wants to connect right there. What is right there? Yeah, it's so bizarre. Okay, I'm done screwing with this. We're gonna take this. We're gonna just use this as a example. And I'm gonna say, screw it. Give it radial symmetry. We want you right about there. We want another one flipped upside down right there. And then we want I could flip it this way and do a stack decoupler, right? Stack separator. Nah. Yeah, stack separators leave nothing to either component. That's what I thought. Had to make sure. So we want this little guy. I mean, if we're doing a stack separator, I might as well just get rid of all this. And just put. No, I can't. That makes sense. So just do something like that. And then a stack separator. And then do our comms. No. Not do our comms. Do our engine. That'll work. Do our engine. Do our fuel tank. We'll give it a nice white. Get our Science Junior. Rotate those outward so they are visible on that side. Get our payload. Tiny little service bay. Open that up. And that one. Command and control. Oh, yeah, we need. It's a good thing I remembered this. So we want a reaction wheel, then an octo. How does this want to go? Do that. There. Then we want a couple of small batteries. That should be good. A couple more small batteries. Yep. And then one of them wants an accelerometer. You know what? We'll just put it on both because I'm never going to remember. Okay. They both have one. And then they both need a couple solar panels. These smaller dudes. It's incredibly tight. But I think it's fine. And then some big satellite antennas. Oh, you guys are too big. Okay, not you. Let's see. You have 15G. You have 15G. Oh. What do you look like when you're extended? Pretty big. But it should be fine. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't put those together. And then we'll just give each of these a small little antenna to complement it. And then, yeah, these each should have enough fuel. Because, like, how much is this? 0.3? Yeah, and that's way less. So all this other crap should make up for it. Yeah, we'll just go right there. So, a little bit of an interesting fairing. Hopefully this works. And let's do this closer to this. Move those down. So we have 2 of those now. And then let's untoggle the snap. We'll put in 4 drogue chutes. Okay. And then we do want an antenna. I'll give it 2 just because they're cheap. Doesn't do anything, but you know. We'll close that off. Get it all protected. Okay, now we need to build our transfer stage. Get us to the Mun, at least, or a flyby. And at least this bit back. So we need, what, 860... 1700-ish? I mean, that's overkill, frankly, because we're just doing a flyby. So I'll shoot for like 1500. We'll call it good there. I always pick the wrong fuel tank. What are you? Oh, you're grabbing the battery there, I bet. Okay, so how much is this with your poodle engines? Oh, hold on. We need to really reorder stuff. This engine needs to go down here. That needs to go up there. That needs to go up there. Yeah. Okay. So this is... Oh, that's way more than enough. Let's get rid of half that fuel then. I thought it might be more than enough. That's also more than enough. Let's go down to about here. Let's make sure we're not stealing from those. Okay, yeah, so still 2350, which is like double what I need. I could probably even cut that down a little bit, but I'm not going to. Do I want the longer variant? Single bell? I kind of like the look of that better, but we'll go with the stumpier version, just because. And then we want, yeah, so that is more than sufficient to get all that back. And then for the, that's not big enough. There we go. Get that stack separator in there. golly. So we're going to want altitude. Usually I found if you set it to about 10, it gives you a decent average. And we're going to want a lot of fuel. I feel like probably something like this. And a mainsail. That's not enough. It's kind of crazy how that's not enough. How is that not enough? Oh. Where are you now? There you are. That's enough. And you have enough TWR. I mean, do I try recovering that? I mean, that just doubled the cost right there. That's 10 grand. And if I get rid of all the fuel, that doesn't, it's not a huge difference. So I feel like I should try to recover this. Even if it's not. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna try to recover this. I don't think it needs much. It will need a Probidobidine Octo. I'm gonna give you what, 2 of these? Oh. No, I want to go for these cheap guys. I'll just load you up with a bunch of them, because that's a lot cheaper than any of these. We'll give you just a couple of cursory little solar panels there. And then a whole bunch. A whole bunch of those. That should be enough. And you still have more than enough thrust, more than enough everything, so we should be good. I feel like I could make it a little more efficient with like asparagus staging, but don't really care. We are going to save this. That's a pretty good payload that we're trying to take into orbit, I feel like. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let's make sure my staging is actually correct first. So we've got engine. We want one of these decouplers. We want this one to go next. Then that engine. Yeah. Oh God. so we want that to separate. And then we're gonna want you, 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 and then you, and you. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you separate. All the parachutes go in certain order. That engine goes. At some point, I'll deploy the fairing. And then those go. Parachutes go, parachutes go. And then the satellites go. I believe that is how I want things to go. We will see how good my plan is. I swear I used to be a pro at this game. I swear. Oh. You know what? Before I'm going to go back to vehicle assembly, 2 things that I forgot. So we're going to strut. We're going to strut all this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I forgot about the fairing variants. Give it that. Okay, and I want some stability enhancers. This is a tall rocket, for sure. And just because I'm cool like that, we are going to just connect maybe. How dare you? Can I? Is there anywhere I can connect? I don't think so. Okay, well, it shouldn't need those, but we'll see, I guess. All right. Another nighttime launch. Maybe should have added fins to this. I think this one will be all right. It's fairly aerodynamic, except a little bulb at the top. Probably the worst of it. Definitely the part I was fighting the hardest. do love when it goes kind of silent. Alright, our apoapsis is approaching the point of main engine cutoff. Let's get it just a bit higher. There we go. 80 is a pretty good number. And we're going to go to the map. Hit our apoapsis here. Add a maneuver. Right up until the point where the apoapsis and periapsis shift. Or close enough. We should have... Should have more than enough. We are officially in space. So we can extend these solar panels. And we'll have our burn in 35 seconds. Just open it all up because it's fun to look at. Give it a bit of a close again. We're just going to keep going until our periapsis over there reaches above 70,000, 70 kilometers. There we go. Yep. And then, ideally, I've got this separated correctly. There we go. We want to go back to this part. Oh, it does not have... Okay. It does not have reaction wheels. Forgot about that. So we're going to have to wait until it goes over to this side, which we probably would have wanted to do anyway. Oh, where's the mun? There you are. Okay, so we're going to want to wait till here anyway. So we'll set an alarm. And we are going to want to put our periapsis right about there. And then for this, we want to take you, add a maneuver probably right about here to get us to the mun. Yep, that gets us to the mun. We want to set that as our target. We'll focus our view. That's good enough for now, anyway. So we will set an alarm for sat bus maneuver, because that is carrying 2 satellites. And we are going to watch this go down. We've got 15 minutes until that happens. And the sat bus maneuver, that's gonna have to wait, I suppose. We'll go to the tracking center, since apparently now I'm too far away. Oh well. So we want to get rid of that debris. We want to recover that. We want to recover that. We will fly this and tell it that it needs another lap on this. So this will be sat bus maneuver. I don't know why. Okay. Let's just get it out to there. And then go back to the tracking station. We need to get back to the probe that we're trying not to crash into the surface of Kerbal. That's this guy, the probe, quote unquote. Because this thing is coming in to the atmosphere. All right. Get it facing the right way. See if it can make it this time with the engine bell intact. Hopefully it does, and hopefully we also make it into the ocean, which it looks like we might be heading for. That would be ideal. Landing on land tends to be a lot more harsh. It does not survive that as well. Burn off some of that fuel, hopefully also burn off I lost the probe control, forgot about that. So I'm gonna burn off all the fuel instead of what I wanted, which was just some of it. That's okay. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. I have 1 meter per second delta V now. I mean, that might as well not be anything. Yeah, that is getting dangerously close to exploding. Yeah, there it goes. As long as it keeps spinning, it'll actually burn off more energy, which is good. But it does mean that I'm losing probably 10 grand from the engine burning off. Let's hope we make it into the water here. I might have activated those drogue chutes too early. Hopefully not. Doesn't look like we did, but very well could be. We'll wait a little bit longer before activating the main chutes. Yeah, pretty clearly over the ocean now, I think. So I'll activate those main chutes. Here goes the drogues to slow us most of the way down. And about what, 500 meters? Oh no, it's 1,000. Those mains will pop out. 8 meters per second, I don't think is slow enough for that bottom tank. I do think that's gonna get exploded. But hopefully we can save four of the tanks. That would be nice. Would be a lot of money that we could save. Well, we'll see. Here we are, 7. It keeps bouncing between. Looks like we recovered all of it, except the engine bell. So, honestly, big success. Happy with that. We got 10,000 back. It's never quite as valuable. Yeah, I was gonna say what, 66 versus I think they're 80 originally. So I think you lose 20% at least of the value. I think you lose more than that because the service bay is worth more than 600-ish. Anyway, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome success. Recovered 10 grand there. Out of a what, $70,000 launch, so we've recovered a sixth or a seventh of the cost, which it's not bad, and that's only so far. We're gonna recover this stage too, hopefully. Because we're gonna launch both of these. Let's close you up. Don't need you open during this. We're gonna do the big part of the burn here. Oh, there we go. How about I remember to turn on my engine? There we go. So we've got our secondary stage, our transfer stage going off, getting ready to take our 2 satellites off to the moon. That's them in the front there. And what this one's going to do, it's going to push us out to this trajectory here. And then at some point in there, I'm going to have it do a secondary maneuver and a tertiary maneuver to line up the satellites a little better. So my plan is, for example, we have 1 satellite. So this is Probodobodine, and that's Strutco. Let me make sure I've got... So this is 90-degree inclination. That's 8.2. Oh. 121. Okay. Yeah, so this is the Probodobodine one. And this one they actually want going backwards. Right? Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a maneuver here. I'm gonna take this. Do I want to do it down or closer? Something like this, I think. It's pretty close. What's your periapsis? 1.5? Yeah, so if we did this, that gets you pretty close. And then, what, not too long later, we just wrap you in. Or do I want to do it the other way? Let's see. Can I do it this way? Maybe this ought to be easier. That's decent. So launch the one off. And then somewhere around here, go and say this. Pretty close, I would say. All right. So we want to focus our view back here. Yeah. And we are going to fast forward this. To that next maneuver node. We're gonna aim ourselves right there. Take down that timer. How close are we? Pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, pretty close. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna save. Because this could get squirrely. We want to undock that. And then we are going to extend and extend and extend. A little bit of clipping. Should have done it in the other order. Can I tell this to like not do that way? No? Okay. Well, regardless, we are going to now say separate. I don't know why it yeeted the thing out so hard, but hey, we'll take it. Okay, so you, my friend, are on a happy little path to the Mun. And you are going here. So we want you to what? Make a maneuver right there. And then you're gonna come this way. Yeah. And your periapsis. It's gonna be pretty close. And then you're gonna add a maneuver right there. Oops. Just to bring that apoapsis in. Maybe we'll do it right there. That's pretty close. Make it closer, though. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay. Get back here. We do want you to have fuel. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Now we are back on this other half of the bus. Yeah, we're gonna maneuver or time warp up to that maneuver node. And we're just gonna do the same thing, but with the second satellite. So here's our target. And we can actually deploy all of this right now. Because there's nothing else to interfere with it except itself. Oh, that was bad, actually. Yeah, I forgot. It's a little off center. the mass is off. Yeah, that would do it. But hey, we got there in the end, or pretty close, I should say. So we are going to undock. Undock that. Switch to this. Let that careen wildly. Activate our engine, which has no fuel because I've shut off its priority. And there we go. So this now is going to somewhere right around here. Take this maneuver. Come down. And we're going to try to match it up kind of as best we can. It's going to be a little off, but we'll be able to adjust it later. We're looking at pretty close, honestly. 1554, 1510. That's honestly probably good enough that they won't care. So mun sat maneuver 1. I forgot to do the other guy. So we'll switch to this. Oh. That's not... That's not what I wanted. You are not a probe. How do I rename you? Is there a way? I know there used to be. Yeah, well, I just am gonna have to remember that that debris is in fact debris. Okay. I think I got the right one finally. When is this maneuver? 4 hours and... Yeah. Mun, Sat, Man 2. Okay, we're gonna have to go to... Actually, can I rename this? From here, I should be able to, right? Rename vessel. Okay. Mun Sat 1. We'll call this a relay. There we go. And then that one is not... Oops. Don't want to set to target. We want to switch to it. I really need to make sure I'm naming these things before I do stuff with them. So let's see. This is Sat Launch Bus. Yeah, that's a probe. This I can't rename. This is going to be a relay. This is Munsat 2. So let's go back to the tracking station. Let's see if I named everything the way I intended. Okay, so we have Munsat 2, Munsat 1, Sat Launch Bus, and the probe. Sat Launch Bus, probe, and probe debris. Well, let's get rid of the debris and the debris. Yeah, and these two probes. And then this is the thing that I need to add my last maneuver to, which is once we get to the far side of the Mun, I just need to make sure that we actually come crashing back into Kerbin. Ideally... Are we... That's too far from now, I think. Because we're going to hit that in 4 hours. Why is it... What? I don't understand what it's doing here, but okay. Let's get rid of that. I don't understand where we are. So I'm gonna set an alarm. Create an alarm. When we hit our SOI change. Yeah, that's gonna be in 2 hours. And And this is going to be Mun Sat Bus Go Home. Okay. Yeah, I think we just need to warp to that. So we'll warp to the next one. And then we'll see where we're going from here. Because I just need this thing to loop back around and go home. Alright, let's speed up time just a little bit. Actually get that sphere of influence change registered. There it is. Okay. Our apoapsis. Wow, it really is very much inside the planet, isn't it? So if I do this, we want our Kerbin periapsis to be like... we'll say 47. So we're just going to do a light maneuver. And that's in an hour and 1 minute. Yeah. We can do this. This one's also going to go off. We'll close that. Go to this one first. Let's see. Where are we at? Periapsis wise. $47? Okay. Let's look at this. We'll switch to this vessel. Now that we've screwed around with that. And we are just in time. Okay. We are pretty close. But I don't think we're going to be good enough. Yeah. So we've got our ascending node. Right there. Oh, wait. We're going this way. So let's do our descending node. So it works out the other way a little bit. Right? Or a little bit faster, I should say. Whoops. Right about there. Okay. Yeah, and then we're gonna have to add a little maneuver. Munsat man 1.2. And then this is going to be mun sat man 1.3. All right. We are racking up alarms. Absolutely racking up alarms. Okay, we've got the Munsat Maneuver 2 for number 2. This one's in 34 minutes. So we're going to go through the same thing here. We're going to warp to this initial one. And then give it, you know, our best go of getting it into the right alignment. But, you know, then really finish it off with those final little just adjustment burns. So starting in less than a minute, we'll time warp up to that point. Missed it by a few seconds on accident. Let's see if we can adjust it so that we're closer. There we go. Okay. We want to go right on the ascending node here, and we're going to push it this way. Just a bit less. There we go. And then that's really close to the apoapsis. So we are also going to see about yeah. We're gonna have to bring this in. Probably close enough. Oop. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Actually, let's go on the downward node here. Do it that way. That should be good. Okay. Set an alarm. This is Mun Sat Man 1.2. Mun Sat Maneuver 1.3. Whoops. I don't mean that. I mean 2.3. That one is in 57 minutes, and that one's in an hour 49. Yeah, so this one needs to be edited to 2.2. There we go. I think we should be able to just warp right to these. We don't have anything in the way. That was a pretty close pass by the moon, I'll be honest. That was a little bit sketch. Just see this big dark rock just spoopy. Oh. Okay. Well, missed my burn by quite a bit. But I think we're okay. Did we complete it? Okay. We got it. So we're done. We do not need this maneuver anymore. And we don't need this one anymore. There we go. So that was close enough. Now we just want to point you towards Kerbin. There you go. Well, we'll point you out like that so you can kind of get an angle. All right. Now let's go to Taurus Go Home, which is our next one, and reacquaint myself with what I am doing here. So they are I am transferring the Taurus into here. And I have a Probodobodine. I do. Okay. And you do have some comms. Okay, so Edgar needs to change vessels, transfer crew, yeah. And we have Dyden, Cabal, and Edgar. So we have, yeah, all three of them are sitting in there. Edgar, Dyden, Cabal. All right. Let's make sure we have fuel. We have an engine. Let's save scum before something dreadful happens. And undock. We are going to rename this. We're going to rename this to Tor Ship 1 for now. This is gonna get called a space station, and this is just Minmus Station. Don't have any sort of control, do you? Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get you out of the way. We did not screw that up too much. Great. And now we have you. So we are going to warp to the apoapsis. It's not really gonna let us do that, and that is okay. Taurus, go home. We are deleting that alarm, and we want you to face retrograde. Correct? No. We want you to face retrograde. No, we do want you retrograde. You just don't know it yet. Are you gonna run? No. Okay. Slowly bring that down until we're in a good periapsis of like, we'll go with 48. We will activate that engine. We will absolutely be warping to this burn. It is the next thing on our list. We have way more than enough fuel. We are good to go. No, oops. I had it chasing the retrograde marker, and I really didn't need for it to do that. We're just gonna watch this periapsis number until it's about the same as that one. There we go. We're just gonna give the Minmus a nice little flyby. They'll never know what hit us or what hit them. "16 days. Yeah, so we're going this way. We want to add a maneuver and an alarm. Taurus coming home. That is in 5 days, 5 hours, 15 minutes. Yep. It's good stuff. Yeah, they do have parachutes. I will freak myself out for a second there. Let's turn on their lights. You guys deserve some lights. We'll just have you floating around with your lights on. All right. Our next one is going to be our hopefully last Munsat maneuver. However, it might not be. We're going to limit the thrust to like 10%. Just give us a bit more time on that burn. I hate it when the burns are just lickety split. Makes it really hard for me personally to get it accurate, you know, just on off. Instead, you can just do it like that. I don't think we're close enough. Yeah, it's not giving it to us. We are not close enough. So we're going to have to add another. Honestly, that should be good enough. Maybe just do something like that. Yeah. Set an alarm. This is going to be Munsat maneuver 1.3. We'll get rid of this one, although that was about the same time. Okay. So we built ourselves up a day of margin here after all of that. Let's see what we've got going on the ground. Spent a couple days just futzing around space. That purple light is a lot brighter than I thought it was. Do we have? We do not really have any R&D we can do. Need to just check up there. So we do still have 5. We're waiting for this one. We can do this Kerbin orbit. And we really should. So Science Junior accelerometer. And it is like forever freaking out there. Yeah, okay. We'll do that one. Don't really need to continue doing these. Guess I could test this heat shield. And this one should be pretty easy. I don't really want to do that one either, though. Okay. So we'll do our satellite that needs to go pretty far around Kerbin. Honestly, it is like that is a cheap rocket. What the heck is in this thing? Yeah, those are. I mean. Accelerometer. I would like a better communication array. You have 5M, you're 500K, so this is 10 times better. And this is like a bajillion times better. This is a relay, though. That's a direct, and that's a relay. So I want this one to be a relay, for sure. So we'll put it out there. And then, yeah, it's got 3 of those. You know what? We'll do just 2 of these. And then it needs an accelerometer because they demand it. Okay. I believe... No, you need a control wheel. A reaction wheel, I should say. And you have just a billion Delta V. Holy crap. This is a very cheap rocket. Yeah, this stage alone has 3,000. 3,000. Okay. Yeah. We're just... I don't know why I launch anything else. Just go with this monstrosity. What? So both those detaches the solid rocket boosters, detaches the extra fuel tanks. Yeah. I guess. I mean, yeah, sure. Just let's go for it. It's not my most pretty work, but geez, I can't argue with, you know, what, 20,000 for a satellite vehicle that'll get anywhere, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, good lord. This thing's got some oomph. Not even 2K up and we're mean, what, 3K up, we're gonna break the sound barrier, feels like. Not quite. Close. 5K. Oh. Yeah, I screwed that up. Maybe that's why I overbuilt it. It's because I kept doing that. It's fine. Look, it's fine. It just went on a little, it was a show. And we were just showing off our rocketry maneuver skills. Yeah. Breaking the sound barrier for the second time. This time for real. For realsies. This rocket does not burn through fuel. Like, at all. That is kind of crazy, honestly. Finally gonna make it up to where I should have been forever ago, if we hadn't done a little loop-de-loop. We're gonna hit about 80 kilometers on our apoapsis and then main engine cutoff. There it is. And then we are going to is that, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go as far as we realistically can. With this stage. And then we're gonna turn it around, have it direct itself towards where it's gonna crash into Kerbin, so we don't leave any trash up in the air. And then we are golden. Alright, let's make sure that this is all operational. We've got plenty of good signal. We are gonna start our burn in 20 seconds-ish. Less than that now, since I can have something to say about it. We're just gonna keep a very close eye on this number. this is telling me something very different than this. There. We'll cut it off right about there. We will get rid of that, and we're gonna wait till our apoapsis. We're gonna have it go. Just crash gently into Kerbin. And our next one's in a day. So we're gonna get way out here. Then we're gonna flip around and have our upper stage do the exact opposite. And send ourselves further out towards this giant ring here. All right. We should be pointing retrograde now. Watch this periapsis number. It's going to go right down. Okay. We're just going to leave it there. We're going to separate. Turn on our fuel here. Turn on our engine. Actually, let's go this way. Oop. A bit. There we go. And we are going to go. Something like that. We want, what, 29,341, 23,144. They're so different. Wish it was more of a circular orbit, I'll be honest. I mean, it's not like it's that huge of a deal, it's just... Yeah, we're going this way. So we're going to want to make sure we're doing this. And that. Shrink it in. Yep. Bring it around. Pull it out. Oop. It's just a bit of messing. 23, 23, 28, 29. This should be close enough for them. That's pretty darn close. Alright, we'll alarm that. We'll say, I don't know, high carbon sat maneuver 2. Because this one is high carbon sat maneuver 1. Yep. Those are gonna take, what, 3 and 8 days. So we've got some time to mess around. Yeah, your burn is in 3 days. You are fine. Let's go over to our tracking station. Let's see how much science our Minmus guys have been doing. So they should be doing a bit. Minmus station. There we go. And how much you got? 189. Okay. Oh, no. I only okay. It's 1.2 science per day. I only have, yeah. Okay. That very different. Very, very different. Let's get back to the Space Center. And I think I need to just finish up these missions so that I can collect that science and everything else. Reset maybe some of these mission timers that I've got going. Because these are, I mean, sure, I can get a heat shield, but like, why? Why do I care? You know what I mean? A VIP. Orbit around Kerbin. That's not worth it. That's not worth the money at all. Yeah. So I think what we should do. I don't. Yeah, I don't think I want any of this. Go to our astronaut complex. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got Jeb, Bill, Valentina, Loban, Burbart, and Migas. There's another pilot, another 2 pilots. I kind of think I need more scientists. Because yeah, I have 1 and 3 engineers. Then again, I think I have 2 scientists in orbit right now. But see, that's the problem is I always have scientists in orbit. Um, yeah, so I have 2 scientists in orbit. I haven't lost any. So we're doing good on that front. Um, Steam. No, I don't want Steam. We fully upgraded that. Fully upgraded that. Can upgrade this. I don't think I want to. Yeah. Don't have quite enough money to upgrade the things I really care about. So, in that case, we are going to go and check out our alarms and just run down the list one by one. So we're going to go min-miss orbit maneuver. We are going to switch to this vessel. We are going to quick save while I'm thinking about it because a lot has happened. And yeah, that's the next maneuver. So we're just gonna warp right there. Anrek is at the mercy of a Probodobodine Octo probe core. These are pretty well tested out by now, I think. We've tested them on quite a few satellites. Where is Minmus? Oh, there it is. It just wasn't popping up on the screen for some reason. Can I do crew report? Oh, okay. We only have 200, 300-ish Delta V left, which is cutting a bit close for this rocket. I will say. It's not my ideal amount. Alright, what is your... We're pretty close in apoapsis and periapsis. I feel like we could bring that down a bit. But also, like, do I want to? Or is this a pretty good height? Let's bring it down to, like, 40. I feel like that's a pretty good amount. And then same thing here. We'll put it at about 40. Yeah, this is, what, in 50 minutes? Okay, so we'll go to the Munsat satellite. We'll get this ready to burn. These are super maneuverable little guys. They have a giant reaction wheel on a tiny little body. Yeah, and it's gonna give me the alarm. That's what I'm hoping for. And away we go. Are we good? Oh, come on. Oh no. It doesn't have a thermometer. I should have. Okay. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna have to bring an engineer over there with. I'm gonna have him carry a thermometer and just like slap it on there. When does that mission end? When's our next alarm? 46 minutes? Okay, when does that mission end? I might have to just take the heat and lose the rep. I should have known. It's this one. Okay. I have 9 years. Almost 10 years. We're good. I can definitely do that in the next 10 years. That will not be an issue. Okay. Let's warp to this maneuver here. And this should be the last one for my space station here. I'm pretty satisfied with where it's at. And I can do, I guess, see if I can do an EVA. No. Maybe see if I can do these experiments. No. So they're already going. Yeah. All right. It's time warping along. Yep. Give me my maneuver, or my alarm, I should say. It was 0.4 seconds, not 4 seconds. I misread that. Okay, we're pretty good. We're at 43 and 41 for our apoapsis and periapsis. So not disappointed in that at all. Our next one is our min-miss sat maneuver. That should be one of these little guys, I believe. Yeah, it's just this little guy. That is a relay, luckily. And we're just gonna warp all the way to this maneuver. We've got plenty of Delta V. I don't think we've got any issues with any of that. But I don't remember. Are we just trying to get this around? Was this a mission? Kerbin and the Mun. It might have been a mission, but now I'm just doing it. You know what? It's good to have satellites out here anyway, so I will accept that it maybe was a mission, maybe wasn't, and it's a good thing regardless. So off it goes, maneuvering itself, just getting itself captured around Minmus. Let's just get it exactly how I wanted it. Yeah, that's a pretty good set there. And we are going to have it face Kerbin. Or no, we're going to have it face halfway out between Kerbin and Minmus. There we go. Alright, next up on the list, we have our high Kerbin sat maneuver. Hopefully this one has everything it needs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna warp to the next. We're just gonna finish out all these alarms, I think, today. Let's get them off. Let's get them off the list. Bam, 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 bam. Just mission accomplished after mission accomplished. Except the one that we kind of didn't. But, you know. We will resolve that at some future juncture with an engineer. Downside to these things being so small and maneuverable is the maneuver nodes, or the gimbal goes everywhere. All right, the next one is in 4 days. Yeah, so let's go to the Taurus. Should be on their way home. There they are. That'll give us a good amount of money upon completion, or at least it should. Edgar, how are you feeling, my friend? Let's see if we can get a crew report. Nope. Let's see if we can get an EVA report, or if we've already done all that. We've already done all that. So, you can get on board again. we're just gonna watch Kerbin come quickly up on us. Gonna point ourselves retrograde. Maybe. Has a little bit of a hard time. I wonder what's gonna explode first. Looks like it might be the engine. So if I do that, that cooled it down. Nice thing about having a pilot on board, when you're in the plasma, you can still control it. Let's just say our apoapsis is. We've got to burn off a lot more fuel. Yeah, there we go. I mean, I could have gone around for a second go, but I don't want to put them through that. They didn't pay for it. They paid me for a flyby of the Mun, or the Minmus. That's all they're going to get. They're not going to get a full extra orbit around Kerbin. Not if I can help it. Alright, well, maybe they'll get most of a flyby, or most of an orbit. Yep, just go up to 83,000, 83 kilometers. Point ourselves retrograde again. And then physics warp. Let's see if we can keep this engine bell alive and recover some of that money. Again, that would be nice. It's not necessary, but it is nice. Let's turn off your lights so you guys can look at the plasma. Yeah, our apoapsis is deteriorating quite nicely. Air resistance is making it difficult to flop around here. have to deploy these manually because I forgot to change out my order there. Could change it out, but takes just as much effort, if not more, to manually switch it around as it does to just pop out the parachutes manually. Yeah, we are landing in the middle of the deserts. I don't quite want to EVA. But at least we'll get a few extra signs. And we're just going to speed this up so you don't have to watch the full slow rumble down. And once we get close to the bottom, I'll activate the engine, see if we can keep it alive a little bit. There we go. Got some nice little cacti. There we go. And we'll... Oh. Let's put you... Oh. See if I can EVA you now. All hatches. Alright. Well, we'll recover that one. I was hoping to get an EVA, but landed on the wrong side. It happens. It's not worth a ton of science anyway. Just figured it was, you get a couple, 1, 3, somewhere in there. It's worth every little bit extra, right? I believe the tourists are also going to give me some. Yeah, it's 5. Or 3.2 science. And then 22.5 just for the vessel that came back from Minmus suborbital trajectory. $5,000. For some reason our tourists are leveling up, which is fun. I don't want to land on the Mun, so we're probably not doing that one. Probably not doing a lot of these. Yeah, that one's okay. And then these adjusted orbit ones are just like free money almost. Okay, let's get this next, or our last alarm. We'll warp right over there. See if we can get this money, get this bread. As all the ducks say in the local pond, let's get this bread. Don't feed ducks bread. But it's still funny to say that. And away we go. There we go. Got it. That is it. Beautiful. So we are going to go back to the Space Center and let's see how much money we have. Should have a fair bit now because we completed quite a few missions. Yeah, 550 grand was at after hiring a Kerbal or Kerbinaut, like just under 300. So just doing that real quick, couple of things earned us 260, 270, somewhere in there. We have enough for bigger aerodynamics. We also, nope, that's the only thing we have enough for. I don't think I really want to get that right now. Aerodynamics is fun, but I mostly mess with it. I wish aerodynamics started like before the basic rocketry. I get that it's Kerbal space program, not Kerbal flies an airplane around the ocean for 5 years program. But it just makes more sense to me that a lot of this stuff would come before a lot of the rocketry stuff. It's a personal kind of gripe of mine, because I love messing around with the airplane stuff, but I don't love messing around with airplane stuff when I'm really restricted on research points. And in order to get more research points easily, I need to do stuff like go to the Mun, Minmus, or, Gilly, Eve, Duna, etc. So here's where we're at. Got a fairly robust communications network going on now, most of which are just direct signals. They don't do relays very well. We'll have to consider how we're going to fix that in the future. They didn't, I didn't really have access to a lot of good relays previously. Luckily, it's robust enough that now, like around the Mun, we've got what? Just the two? Yeah, just two, but they're in very different orbits. You kind of want to get like this, and then maybe one that goes the other way. So we're doing good on that front. Same with Minmus. We just set up our first one, as well as we have our space station down here going around, which I believe, yeah, it technically has a relay on it, but a majority of the relay is supposed to be done by that Minmus relay. So doing good on that front. I think we've discovered 7 of the launch sites. I can't remember what all we had. We've got 2 Minmus landings, 1 Mun landing, so that's good to know. I didn't think we had a Mun landing yet. I guess I forgot. We do have a space station around Minmus. We have one around Kerbin as well. That should start setting us up pretty good for like refueling, transferring Kerbals in and out of, on and off planet and into interplanetary space and etc. So yeah, I am going to call it there for tonight. That finished off a lot of the alarms and a lot of the missions that I wanted to do. So I feel pretty good about that. And like I said, or was talking about, I think we've gotten in a good spot. Next time I stream, it'll be in a couple days, probably at the earliest. May or may not be doing Kerbal. Getting a little burnt out this week on it, but it will be back for sure because I do love Kerbal. So, yeah, I appreciate you all for coming in, watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.